once again, welcome back to Chats with Jack. I am Jack Talcott. And greetings, blessings, salutations, and love. Once again, welcome back to Chats with Jack. I am Jack Talcott. And I tell you what, blessings to all of you. All of you find your way here to join me. And you know what? I'm just feeling so filled with peace. And just to let you in on my preparation, my prayer today is that the peace, the light, the joy of God and God's love to be with me, right? So that it can be recognized and received and shared by you. So thank you to all of you who are already here. I'm starting a little bit early. It is Talcott Tuesday, I guess, but today in the topic and the idea of where I'm at, let's seriously talk reforms. Let's discuss serious reforms today. Let's imagine the possibilities and work together to try to predict reasonable solutions and outcomes together. Seems like a good use of time. So that was where my mind was at when I scheduled myself today. Not so much about me, but about the world we share. Because the reality is, in the background, peace is always available. It's here and now, and it's behind what I'm living for. And the reality is, we are all one. It's only ego. The only thing the ego is beliefs and fear. It's beliefs and fear that separate us. We are all one together. And really, to unite with love is to overcome the conditioned ways of the world, right? The conditioned ways of the world teach people to believe in limits and divisions. But love overcomes those. Don't you know? Don't you know by now? Love is the power and force that overcomes all obstacles. It's life. Life is love. I want you to love your life like I found ways to love my life. It's really direct and spontaneous if you allow it, but the conditioning and the habits of our nervous systems, the patterns and memories of our minds, those can create a lot of disruptions for us from achieving this simple, beautiful, delicious, delectable peace inside that God offers for us. It's part of our innate divine design. Regarding the ideas of recognizing all around the world, we are one time in history. We've got the evidence before us through the communication, through the logistics, through the wars and conflicts, through the banking dynasty and industry. We're all connected together in this world. The conflicts elsewhere in the world, they haven't really hit America too tough at home, just maybe in the costs of things. But the reality is, the direction we're heading in this world, with some cartoonish president who spends hours on social media. I just saw something. They counted his posts, Donald Trump's, over like 2,000 posts in the first 4 months of the year. It's like this man in the White House and the people who are enabling his behavior, they're in for an awakening. And praise God, that awakening is here. See, the awakening is the acceptance of what is real, what is true, beyond the opinions, beyond the limitations, beyond the judgment. You accept what is real, and that's when you wake up to reality. And the reality I was considering earlier today is this: I consider this truth to be true in several ways. Consider it for yourself. But uh, God is the light, as Jesus said. He was the truth, the way, the life, the light, right? Shined upon the world for us to know the truth of God. So if you found yourself as a Christian, right, believing in Jesus, well, then trust his words to be true, trust his way to be true for you. And it really is true. God is the light. It is the light that reveals all that may be discovered. So God is within you, that light of discovery and imagination, the awareness of those things, right? That's the light of God within you, in your consciousness. Your awareness is God's awareness with you, through you, for you, to have a closer relationship with. Become aware. Become more aware than you've ever been before. How do you do that? How do you become more aware? Well, you pay attention and you ask questions. Ask yourself, what is God showing to me? These things that I'm hearing, what is this for? These things that I'm seeing, what's the purpose, my Lord? Right? This is how I've been living as me for a little while now. I'm growing more and more and more comfortable in these things. This thought came up earlier, but I refined it because I can only imagine to know what God wants, right? But maybe we should individually and collectively start imagining what God wants for you, through you, with you. Start within, right? What does God want within you? What does any good mother or father want? Nothing but love and joy inside, innocent and pure from corruption, from greed, from selfishness, from cruelty. Any good mother or father wants that, right? So, what does God want for you inside? Love, purity, the spirit and essence of holiness, in the name of, in the ways of Christ. So, back to where I was going, this thought, I wondered, maybe God wants us to know the many perspectives of truth. See, it's closed minds that keep us ignorant. When we're not willing to listen to the truth of another, we keep ourselves stupid, protected from greater knowledge or different knowledge than we knew. But if you consider what God might be, right, God would be the knower of all things, and that includes all perspectives of all things real and unreal. But we live in a world that profits from the focus on the unreal. It's not budgets or bank accounts that keep you safe or secure or comfortable. No, a healthy relationship with God, that's where you start. God is love. So you have a healthy relationship with love, and it's like all the other pieces just seem to fit together. Not all the way, always the way you want or you think it's going to happen, but it's true. The way reveals the way. It is just the facts of life. The way forward in time is the way that you are on. So be with that. Let go of what the world had conditioned you to believe. And don't believe that we are separated. Please, for the love of God, this is one time in history that we are all sharing. And I'm spinning the hamster wheel inside of me, trying to figure out How do I get in the game? The game being in front of Congress and the White House or greater reach, right? I've noticed my numbers have been dwindling again. And so it's like, what is it that God is doing with me? I wonder that often, and I encourage you, I invite you, wonder that too. What is God doing with me? If there was greater things in store, what would that be? What might it be? So back to the point, I believe that true, and it makes sense too. To mature as an individual, you learn more perspectives on the things you thought you learned. Simple as that. So don't hide yourself from the perspectives of others. We've been conditioned to get angry at people who disagree with us. I'm an example. I'm still breaking old habits. I've done that a lot. So I confess my sins. I really don't need, gauntlets of people trying to remind me of those things. But anyway, what I've been witnessing in the world is rather than knowing the many perspectives of truth that are available, and I did this with my divorce, right? When my past marriage ended, I told myself I couldn't understand why, and then I convinced myself of that, and I found all sorts of reasons why she was wrong and why I was right. And in the end, none of it mattered. My opinions on things had no effect on anyone except my inner state. And then my inner state, my sadness, my anger, my frustration, those things came out, you know? It's the way we're made. When we don't have a healthy relationship with God, we don't really know what is true. God is the greatest perspective that holds all aspects of the truth. What I've seen in the world that's created these divisions, not just the fear propaganda, the conditioning of beliefs, whether it's a reputation, a title, a job, a diagnosis, we create these identities within ourselves. And then it's the belief in the identity of us that keeps us separated from others. And so, what I was considering is how do we get to this point where we believe in these false schemes, right? How was I living the way that I was? What had happened within me? Meaning, going through the routine of life, going and suffering every day at a job that I didn't really enjoy. It wasn't really bringing a lot of fulfillment or development. Um, and then on the weekends, I wasn't resting or leisurely. I was recuperating most of the time, drinking, trying to cut off steam. Um, how was I surviving? How was I going through the motions of that? I've described my past as living subconsciously, and I was. Alcohol was in my mind and in my system a lot of the time, so I was not operating with a full, clear mind. But even beyond the drinking, the habits of life had put me to sleep. And I hadn't realized it until I awakened and I saw different things. I saw the same things from a perspective my past mind hadn't allowed me to consider or to accept. Right. So, what I suspect happens is not only trauma creates insecurities, insecurities create our dishonesty. We've got inner design. If you lie, you're going to destroy yourself. Okay, it just happens. It's how we're designed. You're not meant to lie. You can do it if you want. You can get away with it for a little while, but it doesn't change whatever's true. And a lot of people will tell lies when they're afraid. And a lot of the lies we believe are actually just excuses. See, I'd made a lot of excuses for the life I lived. I found security in a job, right? The regular paycheck, the benefits, the idea of a future retirement, all of that kept me going, right? What I think happens is we get hypnotized by schedules and plans. It's what we've been taught. Follow the schedule, right? Start a routine early, conditioning children to be obedient, subservient, not ask questions, request permission to go to the bathroom as a human being. Right? It's like, I get it. Let me not. That was a personal complaint. Um, so we've been taught to follow schedules, conditioned by schedules. The work schedule becomes a routine, and any routine becomes a habit. You choose it once in the past, and all of a sudden it's a choice you can't seem to escape from. So we get hypnotized by our schedules and plans. If you don't have a plan, you don't have a purpose or a goal. And so that means you're not using your mind for strategy. And if not, you're not using your mind for strategy and future steps, well, maybe you're just spinning your wheels. The problem is when you do have a plan. Another problem is when you do have a plan. I had a plan for myself and for my family when I was at the United States Postal Service. I had a secure job. Um, lots of different opportunities, and so I planned on a retirement. The year 2030, another 4 years, I would be eligible for retirement as a federal employee with I don't remember, a lot of years of federal service. Where was I going with the plan I had put me to sleep. I overlooked opportunities, right? I denied myself healthy and good options because I was comfortable with the ideas I remembered for me. Please don't allow yourself to get lost in schedules, to get trapped by past plans. That's the way the world wants us, hypnotized, asleep, doing what you're told, not thinking for yourself, picking up habits so you stay a good consumer, good producer. You don't ask the right questions. That's the ways of the world. And really it is, what did I say? Yeah, to unite with love is to overcome the conditioned ways of the world. That's what we're here to do. By overcoming the conditions, the limitations, the excuses, you might just find yourself to be pure love. See, when we remove the egoic beliefs and judgments, we detach from the memories of who we thought we were. It opens up your field of energy, who you are. It opens up your mind, your emotions. And in your opening your mind and your emotions to let go and to grow, I felt a physical shift within me, right? Because there's no separating your mind and emotions from your physical being. If you're uptight and anxious, right, there's an underlying cause. You can treat the symptoms all you want, but there's a cause within you, and you are the cause. The key to inner health is to shine the light of awareness. As I said earlier, God is the light. God is the light that reveals all that may be discovered. If there's darkness within you, holding you back, keeping you feeling trapped, anxious, sad, worried, whatever, there's something within you, an idea, a belief, a memory. God is with you. By the grace of God, you might get to see. And that's what happened with me, and I am grateful. I am grateful every day. Lord, thank you. Thank you for the light you shine upon me and with me so that I might know that I am. I get to be here in this world at this time as I am with God in my mind, in my heart, in my focus, my future. Know that for yourself. God is with you, and please be grateful for all you've learned. The good, the bad, the ugly, the stuff you don't like. Be grateful because you learned it. It's for you. And the reality is, from watching the patterns of me, I've come to this conclusion. Not just me, but I assume with others too. Um, in my reflection, looking back on things, every time I faced a challenge in my life, I actually already had the answers, or I was prepared. I was strong. I was already strong enough, or there was a way for me to get strong enough or smart enough, right? There was always a way. It's like life brings you tests and challenges, but the preceding time in your life has been preparing you for those tests, for those challenges. What I found within me is the answer I needed when I faced these challenges. It was something I'd learned a long time ago and I'd forgotten, right? It's real easy for our memories to let go, not just of the good things, but of the bad things as well. The path I found, it's truly through the practice of surrender. Surrender to breathe and to be with this moment of time as you are and feel, not with everything else, but feel what it likes, what it feels like, right? To be you, to be as you. Don't compare yourself to the outer world. Just feel the comfort, feel the strength. You might find pain and discomfort, a lot of clutter too, but with practice, you practice feeling good as you, surrendering to the present moment so that you can allow God's light of awareness to elevate you with love, right? You bring love into your mind, knowing God's love is there for you, with you, to know and to lead you. And so you bring love into the mind, knowing that God's light is shining upon you and with you and through you. And if you listen in the silence within you, between the thoughts, that's where I find the stuff I need. I hope it's helpful for you. Some of the other ideas, I realize I'm kind of I'm rolling on a little bit. Um, hey, how interesting. I just realized none of the YouTube chats are coming through on my StreamYard, so it doesn't, I wasn't, maybe I missed some stuff. But regarding this idea today, the thumbnail and the concept, the reminder, we are all one. We emanate and we are animated from the same source of light and life, whether you want to point at the sun or to the earth or to the Holy Spirit of consciousness and awareness that is you. We come from the same source of life. So this thought came to me earlier. I encourage many of you very strict Pharisees and Sadducees, the people who are real religious about your thoughts and beliefs, please consider. Let go of your religion to be with God. What if your religion and the belief in the religion, your interpretations, what if that was holding you back from a greater direct experience with God? I think it's a possibility. Because really, it is in the absence of our beliefs, right? When we drop the ego, when we drop the fears, when we drop the worry and the anxiety, um, in the absence of beliefs, that's how God is known within you. It's in the absence of your beliefs, your fears, your opinions. You let all of that go. And in the absence of all that, you can know God. Know God as the peace of being. The peace of being. God's being is peace. It brings peace. In the peace, there's the option for motion, and the motion happens, right? Love is an energy and a power. Let me not flow off in that way. Here's back to the idea of beliefs. Let go of religion to be with God. Let go of your identity to be with reality and become greater, greater than you were, greater than the expectations of your past, right? Become greater through unlearning and redefining. It's what I had to do. I had to unlearn a lot of my material beliefs, my political beliefs, economic beliefs. I had to change. I had to allow myself to change when I discovered new information. And so, in my mind of awareness, my awareness grew. Gained a greater awareness of politics and economics and religion when I started looking. A question I was considering, and maybe I'll drop the link after this, invite this question for those who may join. What have you talked yourself out of? What have you talked yourself out of achieving or doing or saying or trying? Where's the false limit in your life that's held you back from your wildest dreams? Have you given yourself permission to dream bigly, right? I have. In my dreams, I see the truth of our unity. I see the vision of the world where we end secrecy. Because the reality is, a world without secrecy is absent from corruption. Wouldn't that be a nice way to live in a world that's absent from corruption and criminals and cruelty? That's the world I'm seeking to know. Here, I'm going to go ahead and drop the link. I think I got through a lot of what I wanted to say today. Did a little bit differently instead of rushing to drop the link. So for those who are here and with us, please feel free. You're welcome to join. My hope for the community fellowship conversations today, it's let's discuss serious reforms, whether it's at the individual level, the community level, the state level. What can we do? What are the solutions we can find? And if you will, folks, where did that go? I thought I had one here. If you will, folks, share a little like, subscribe, do the things, maybe let others know. Because the reality is, what my mind has been on, what God has placed in my heart, it is biblical. It's all. I am confident this logic is sound. It is the truth that sets us free. I've said this over and over. It's biblical. So why are we enabling corruption, secrecy? We've got insanity happening. The world is literally burning, right? The resources and the future of scarcity are looking pretty real, even here in America. Not everyone can keep dealing with the rising prices. And it seems our communities have lost sight of what community really means. I mean, the evidence it's everywhere. Poverty, crime, abuse, exploitation, wrongful imprisonment, right? We've got criminals enabling criminals all over the place. And if we want the world to stop fighting, all we got to do is choose to stop fighting. See, and the people who are involved in the fight, they're focused on strategy. They're focused on offense and defense, right? Well, it seems that's what's around Donald Trump. He's getting a lot of advice on offense or defense, but I think it's time for the people to intervene on these conflicts, the unnecessary ones that are in our communities, in our families, in our nations. Let's intervene in the conflicts with peace, with love, for the reminder, hey, you don't have to fight. If we're honest with each other, we can find ways to get along. But who's willing to be honest in a world filled with liars? I am. My name is Jack Talcott. I am an honest man. I say what's in my heart and I speak as truthfully as I can. I'm no longer trapped in my old ways of thinking. I've been consciously, intentionally expanding my mind and the time I open my mind to God. For it's only with God that the possibilities of life are. The giver of life. I mean, it's part of this story of existence. That's what we are. By existing, we are a part of the eternal story of life. What's our part? Well, we discover as we go. What I encourage everyone to do for your part is please unite with love within yourself. There's two of you, right? There's a Christic, there's the pure, there's the innocent, the true. That part of you is in there, the same little infant that came through, breathed its breath, and shined the light of life in God to the mother and father, to the people around. That same light of innocence, purity, infinite potential is still there as long as you're alive. It's true. Now, the other part of you is the worldly part, the very limited part, the one that believes in things that are not true. See, and I say this with confidence because I know the majority of people in this realm still believe in things that are not true. I've encountered many. The disbelief in many seems to be strong. The disbelief that we can do something. We can do something. We are not done. Life is not done. Everything can change. What do we want to change? I want to change the way the world works. Anyone else on board? I mean, I don't think it's fair that we got children starving at the same time asshats are throwing billionaire parties and conspiring with each other on how to extract more from the working class, right? I don't think that's right. I don't think it's righteous. And I discovered long ago the logical conclusion that really the only way that life can continue is if justice and righteousness, that which is just, that which is right, only if that is the natural order. It's not the strongest and the fittest, it's just and right. It's a balance. It's what nature is. Mankind is just out of balance, man. I mean, mankind just got confused. That's all it is. But collectively, the world is lost. It's ours to claim as it is, with all the damages, with all the problems, with all the distrust. See, it's distrust that keeps the world divided. Distrust is fear, the belief in the distrust, the belief in the fear, or the excuse to fear, the excuse to distrust. Those beliefs keep us separated. As long as we're separated, there's going to be fights for privilege and dominance and control and exploitation. It's all just part of the bargain. It's how life works. Praise God. Praise God indeed. I'm going to run with a little bit of gratitude, and I think I may keep this one short again today because I don't know what God's got planned. I don't know what I should offer. I'm not sure what people in this world are seeking. I know what I'm seeking. I'm seeking to grow peace on earth, united with love wherever I go. Join me. Join me. Be like Jesus. Be like God, giving and forgiving, right? Be generous. Be loving. Be kind. That's the way of God for us all. And see, the reality is God has given mankind everything we need to create heaven on earth here and now. It's always been within you, heaven and hell. You'll experience, perceptions of it, tastes of both as you're here until you follow the way of Jesus. You surrender yourself completely. Your old identity becomes gone. Okay? And then you allow yourself, and I heard this tip earlier, I'll share this too. It's practice I'll probably start continuing more, but I feel pretty comfortable. I'm still going to try it, I think. The idea of as you go to sleep tonight, give yourself permission and just realize it. Tonight is the end. Tomorrow, I begin again. And so when you awaken in the morning, after planning these ideas, imagining these ideas the night before, when you awaken in the morning, allow yourself to be renewed. A new man, a new woman, a new child of God, reborn again into the day, given the breath of life so that you could be animated through the day with light and love or fear and darkness. You get to choose. What do you want for you? Do you want to feel like the victim or the hero in your own life? Those are questions we got to answer for ourselves. That is what we've got to do. Hey, change the way the world works, encourage people to unite for peace. Have you considered dedicating time to gossip, arguing over BS? I have considered that. I found myself participating in that for quite a bit of time, and it wasn't really the rewards that I had hoped or expected. And please, I agree. Can we get the White House on the horn? We got a special guest who just showed up. Welcome back, Powder Dusty.
Thank you. What you doing?
Talking serious reforms today. Uniting with love.
I see that in the title.
Yep. It's all about uniting with love, surrendering away beliefs and fears. That word of surrender, does that strike a chord?
It does strike a chord. I don't like that one. I'm also not sure that I want to unite with all these fuckers.
What if they were the answer to greater?
What does that mean?
What if to get to the greater rewards, you got to go through the darkness and the bullshit?
I mean, it just seems like more unnecessary bullshit.
I'm not sure which specifically are in your mind, but I've got a few myself.
So I mean, just unity with some of these fuckers seems unnecessary. it seems like it'd be going through bullshit just to get back out of the bullshit right where you started.
It seems that way.
Although, do you really want to unify with JG?
I think he could use a friend.
Well, it's a good thing that you're the guru here and I'm just a selfish douchebag. That's all on you.
The thing is, he's an abrasive.
You want to have that halo up there for me to polish, then you got to have. Everybody wants a halo until it's time to do halo shit.
No, the reality is, I'd love for him to become a better man, because I do believe he needs a friend, but he's so abrasive, such a cocky prick. I'm sure he pushes pretty much everyone away. I've been like that. I've done it. I recognize the behavior. That's why I'm saying,
I've seen
dude.
you do it. I've seen you do it. Not as consistently. You kind of you come back to equilibrium fairly quickly.
I've had a lot of practice.
Yeah.
I've learned how to surrender that shit. That's what the key is. And you actually don't you don't surrender because you don't let it affect you. It doesn't land on you. But some of the engagements, you're like a bulldog. You don't want to give up.
Like what?
I don't know. Actually, let me not make assumptions because part of you is providing content too.
Right.
Entertaining and making some fun. So I get that.
Yeah, that's what people are here for.
Regarding uniting with the broken though, and that's what we've got. We got a lot of dysfunctional, broken people, and if you know, you know. These guys, what I see is a bunch of people who are crying out for help. Honestly.
What, Snafu hasn't been here today? I should upload. I just assumed Snafu's already been here.
No, you're actually the first one to join. I was ready to start wrapping up.
Has anybody seen Tommy?
No, I have not, and I've not heard of others. He's another one. I've tried reaching out to him through Snapchat. He's another
Have you
one.
checked the inmate rosters?
Not yet. I do think that he could be another one who could use a good friend. Here we got another all-star joining. Welcome back, Chuck. How are you today?
What's up, my children?
Blessings to you, brother.
You know, Jack's trying to get me to merge with people I don't want to merge with. Same stuff.
Merge?
Or unify.
Well,
I don't know if it's the same thing as merging. It sounds similar.
You have to swallow your pride and go for it.
That'll never happen.
It will. It will.
Jack thinks he's gonna drip on me like Chinese water towards your paws.
The ego will hold you back.
You will. You've got a sharp mind. I am confident that you will come to the same conclusions as me eventually.
I am a sucker for flat. So whatever you're doing is working.
Oh shit! Flat Earth, flat brain. Oh no.
I'm not a flat earther. I do think that NASA's bullshit, but you know, if you want to believe some Cold War propaganda, that's on you.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not surprised. You know, you're about the right age. You're in the military. You probably watched it on TV. You got an emotional attachment to the NASA thing.
No, I have no emotional attachment. You know, they do more than just shoot rockets. You do realize that, right?
Yeah, they shoot video footage. They funnel a lot of money.
Yeah, lots of good things have been corrupted because we live in a realm where authority means secrecy. Secrecy creates authority, and those things don't have to be.
If you had if you had the proper amount of authority, you wouldn't need secrecy.
Correct. If we had true leadership in the way that Jesus demonstrated, we would not have.
Died when he was way younger than any of us.
I know, but he showed us the truth. Here, we've got another all-star returning. Welcome back, Denizen. How are you, brother?
What's up, Danny? Yep, that's Denizen.
Yep. Yo, what's up, guys? What a panel this is.
There you go. All stars all around.
Well, it's a perfect opportunity again. Because here's the reality. Regardless of the shape of the world, we've got worldwide problems.
Hold on, can you pull that back up?
What the fuck?
That's me second from the right because he's kind of balding.
Yeah. All right.
That's Denizen all the way on the left because we don't know what he looks like.
Trying to say he
I'm
looks like a
wrapped in
hot
a shroud.
chick.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
wrapped in a shroud and a robe. Accurate.
mysterious. The world we live in, the corruption is undeniable, right? Can we agree?
Did you hear that Denizen's going to be at DebateCon in person? He's going to debate me on economics.
What?
Oh,
Which one you going to? You see Speakeasy got sponsored for an event down there at the same time.
I did not see that. I'm not surprised. First of all, I don't know that
I'll
he's
send
allowed
it.
in the
I'll
US.
send it to you.
Okay.
Somebody's funding.
I cannot believe there are people still stupid enough to send Speakeasy money for traveling.
There's an outfit called Maine First. You know, the state of Maine. It's called
Okay.
Maine First. They're sponsoring the whole thing. They're paying for all the food. They're paying for all the drinks, and there's also giving out cash prizes. I'll
I have
send it
not
to
seen
you.
it. I haven't seen anything. I went out of town this weekend, and I was just kind of getting back today. Jack, why are you
I don't-
grimacing? Why do you have that look on your face like you're about to poop?
no, I was just waiting. Because I was asking the question. Can we agree that the corruption, the visible corruption in our society, it's undeniable?
Yeah.
I don't think. Oh, okay. Color me corrected.
Threw a wrench at Denizen, huh?
He did hit me right in the face with that one. Chuck, are you going to admit to that too, Chuck? Well, I mean,
But-
he is the corruption.
The other thing about corruption, though, is it's everywhere and in degrees. And I think in the West, at least in the U.S., like, and don't get me wrong, right? I hate cops more than probably anybody here, but maybe Denizen. I think that the amount of corruption we have in the West is relatively constrained and manageable.
I disagree.
Yeah, it's to the point where it's part of the system.
Okay.
It's like
I'll
we're
agree
rotten
with
to
that.
the core. We can get along in our lives pretty easily and unscathed, right? Like it's, you know what I mean? It's like weird to complain about it compared to some places in the world, but the system is corruption, right? It's to the core.
This is what I want to look at. It's the systems that are broken, and it attracts corrupted people. So we literally have organized crime, criminals enabling criminals. They're taking advantage of the innocence and ignorance of the masses.
Is that why you're attracted to Washington?
Well, I know if there's going to be peace and reforms, it's going to happen through Washington, D.C. So, yeah.
Yeah, do you not see Trump trying to make peace with Iran? He's held off for 2 months trying to reach peace.
Chuck,
Yeah.
has he succeeded?
Keys for Chuck.
No.
Well,
Chuck,
he's trying his damnedest. He's had many opportunities to
Yep.
drop more bombs.
Right.
But
he is focusing on war, not peace. It's clear and obvious through the depletion of the United States. Weapons have been depleted through supporting Ukraine, through shipping over to friggin' Israel. So the defenses of America are actually weakening. If you pay attention, and Chuck, I'm sorry, the emotions are coming up out of frustration. The fact that you want to sit here again and bootlick Trump to me blows my mind.
no, I'm not bootlicking Trump. I'm just saying he's trying for peace, not war.
You're misinformed, Chuck.
Really?
Yes.
Well,
If he was
let's define Let's define peace, Chuck. What do you mean by that? What is Trump's ultimate goal?
To get rid of the uranium that they have.
That the intelligence department said was not there. The U.S. intelligence department testified saying there was not the threat that Donald Trump claimed.
I don't know if
Did
I
you see
believe
that?
them, though.
Well, I don't know that I believe Trump, especially since he said after the first attack on Iran, we completely annihilated their nuclear program, only to be back again in a few months because, oh my God, it's still there. So which was it? These lies,
The material is still there.
Chuck.
Yeah, we definitely can't believe Trump either.
Well,
No.
true. But
No.
he has been holding back. I mean, I'm surprised because you got
Chuck,
people in the
Chuck,
administration going crazy.
holy shit, holding back as he has overseen the bombing of innocent school children. That's
That was
holding back.
one mistake.
One mistake, but that's holding back, according to Chuck, into
Are you sure they were innocent?
an unprovoked conflict, right? Because allegedly, well, Israel was going to start it, so we had to do it. Guys, the point is, we've got
Jack, I
serious,
thought we were unifying today.
well, we are. We need to accept the fact that this world needs to change. And if the world is going to change, it's going to be through the people who live. Are we not alive? Do we not want it to change?
Yeah, but I
Depends
don't think
on the
it
law.
needs to.
I think
And
we're here
cha-
to witness. I think we're here to witness God's plan.
And change comes slowly, unfortunately.
No, it does not. The Spirit is miraculous. The Holy Spirit and God are miraculous and spontaneous. It is us. We are slowing each other down, holding each other back, making this bullshit society where innocent men, women, and children elsewhere in the world are starving and being mutilated at the taxpayers' expense here in America. So we're pretending like we're not connected to people who are dying. How sick is that? When we're directly involved.
I don't know about the starving part.
Gaza, you think they're getting
When's the
well
la-
nourished? You
I
think
don't know.
Israel's letting the supplies in? No, they're still not. There was an alleged, oh yeah, Chuck, your buddy, your boy, Trumpy boy, allegedly there was a peace agreement made in Israel I believe a couple thousand more people in Gaza have been murdered. Not to mention those guys from
I know Lebanon. I ain't heard nothing about Gaza lately.
Well, please go look. Is the conflict in Gaza continuing? Go see what you can find, Chuck.
I'll have to. If I do that, though, I'll lose my spot.
Well, sometime.
For some reason, every time I try to reference something, I get StreamYard doesn't like it and gives me the boot.
Yeah, the app will time you out.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, because you're on another app, so it's no longer transmitting. It's
Okay.
it's like being disconnected.
That makes sense. Hey, how about this statement? A world without secrecy, I'll say, can be absent from corruption. Any disagreements to that? If there's no secrecy, can there be corruption?
Are humans still existing in this paradigm?
Honest ones, not liars.
Actually, Jack, I would push back on you on that one. I would say we can have corruption even when it's right in our face, and
Okay.
right now is a good example of that.
Shit. Well observed. You're right. But at the same time, we have the visible corruption. We've got the past conditioning of apathy, going along to get along, and we turn a blind eye, right? We look away from the homeless. We look away from the exploitation and the abuse. Why? Because it's
I think
ugly.
we could flip those incentives so that we made like secrecy among nations look bad, and we prioritized eliminating corruption, and we discouraged apathy. I think we could do those things you're talking about. Those are choices.
Dennison is in charge of discouraging apathy.
But what secrecy are you referring to?
Dennison is the new minister of optimism.
What like, so here's the thing, Chuck. I don't buy any of this shit at this point. I believe we live in a matrix of hyperrealism. Symbols have become more important than reality itself, more real to people. Nobody, like, people who think they know things are just fooled by one side of the flip card. But let's, embrace the matrix for a second here and assume of like a foundation level of reality. The United States government eventually admitted to overthrowing Mossadegh in Iran. Right? So up until a certain point, that was a secret. That we sent the CIA out there, we killed people, we machine gunned crowds, and blamed it on the Mossadegh regime. And in order to get him ousted by his own people. So, assuming that the government is being honest when it admits to doing that, that was a secret for 50 years, right?
That was the one when they put the Shah in power.
Correct. And then the Shah was such a ruthless dictator that it led to a solidification of authority and power among the radical Islamists. And so then you had the overthrow of the Shah, which was arguably not so natural either. And then you had the Khomeini, who is supposedly our boogeyman and our problem today. We're spending all our money on, and wasting all our weapons on that same cycle that started with fucking around with Mossadegh when we should have maybe minded our own business. And these agendas also were not the agenda of the American people. We didn't vote for that. It was the cooperation between British and American oil companies that started they were against the nationalization of Iranian oil.
Yes.
So those kind of secrets, right? If those kind of secrets were taught to retarded people in school, we might be able to show them a wider picture than what they're used to.
Okay, I go along with that one.
And it goes even further. History shows there's stacks of evidence that show the corruption from the the FDA, from all these organizations that are created to look out for people. They've been bought off by industry, the sugar industry.
They do the thing that their charter is against. They usually do the thing. Like the Drug Enforcement Agency is exactly that. It enforces the drug policy and the shipments in the U.S.
Right.
Did you say Drug Enforcement Agency? It's the Drug Enforcement Administration at this point. Did you know?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Either way, fuck them.
Well, the point is it follows the spiritual logic, right? That which is good is created, and that which is created may be distorted, right? And so that which is good, which was America, which was the idea of some of these organizations to keep the people safe, maybe it was a good idea at one time, but these ideas have taken over an identity of their own. Every corporation has an identity. Every government state has an identity. And every identity these days is managed according to what?
Lies and deceit.
I was going to say budgets, but yeah, that's what convinced us. Lies and deceit convinced us to be held back, focused on budgets. Reality is far bigger than that. Life is far more than the economic gain.
Mm.
Love is the answer. It's no bullshit. I know how it sounds, but it really is. Love is the power that reforms us, it transforms us. And that's what I believe is missing in DC. So, yes, I'm here outside of DC trying to find a foot in the door so I can help. I can try. That's all I want to
It,
do is try.
You can
you,
only
but you,
form and inspire, Jack. I mean,
Thank you. What were you saying,
I,
Dennis?
it, I think there's some truth to what you're saying. I just don't know that everybody is capable of love, and I think that it's such a daunting task. Like if I'm to make it granular, you're gonna have to learn how to love Chuck way before Trump can learn how to love the Khomeini.
Mm.
Wow.
Mm.
Wow. That's
Mm.
deep.
Really,
That's
really
deep.
love the crap out of him, Jack. You know what I mean?
Keys
To where
for Chuck.
That is
his
deep.
bootlicking can't get to you, right? His Trump support can't get to you, and you can all see that all through a lens of love. And to the extent to which I'm capable of that, I've learned from you, Jack. I won't, cut any corners. But I know that it's easier for you to show me the way than it is for you to follow the path yourself.
That wasn't a mic drop. Dennison just spiked that motherfucker like a football.
I'm telling you.
I've learned a lot from you too, brother. And your words are right. I was thinking about those words and I claim I feel love for Chuck. I do love Chuck. He's part of this fun, crazy experience here. But why do I treat Chuck the way that I do if I claim to love him? Frustration. I know Chuck is greater than that. I know Chuck is better, but what do I know? Maybe I'm wrong.
do you feel that Chuck is playing you? Because I feel
I
so.
like,
No,
I
I'm
like how
not playing him.
I like how
There's a
Jack
lack.
spun that into a backhanded compliment of Chuck.
I'm gonna call him out on it though a little bit. I'm gonna say that's not real love because
I
Chuck
know.
can't
Right.
be any better than he is if you truly accept him and you truly love him. Then
You're
Chuck
right.
is already 100% Chuck.
You gotta
And
fake it before you make it, Dennison. Even if it's not true love, you gotta fake it before you make it. Come on, man.
It's
Give love a
true.
chance.
man,
Give love a chance.
that's if that's
Give
true,
the
I'm
keys.
fucked.
Give the keys.
Because authenticity is my kink. I can't fake it.
No, because seriously, think about what love, when you might feel love, if you're
When you
alone,
give someone the keys.
in the absence of that which is not
It's going to
love.
be hard for us to follow you into the pits of love until you've demonstrated that you can overcome your own hatred and give Chuck the keys.
I can overcome
lol.
my-
Hell,
I can
even Dusty has taught me some shit.
No, I
I've
haven't. I denounce.
You denounce?
No,
Disavow.
Well, you
heard
gotta have an open mind and receive what's given. And he has taught me a few lessons,
I heard
whether
it.
he wants to
Powder
admit
Dusty
it
is.
or not.
Sorry, man. I was interrupting you, Chuck.
That's all
Trusty
right.
is attacking me with emojis.
I was saying, from what it sounds like, Dusty has trained Chuck.
No, he hasn't trained me. He just opened my mind up and showed me a different way to think
Hey,
on a couple of things.
what was I doing? Hold on, sorry. Lawrence, sincerely, blessings to you. Hail to the prophet, Jack. I love you, Chuck, despite your cotton balls of flaws. I really love you. Well said.
That's Lawrence.
I thought he
loves the
said cotton
sexy
balls
bunny.
of flows. I was like, what the fuck? I love you
He
too,
calls
Lawrence.
me a sexy bunny.
No.
Yeah.
There's the empire right there. I hate 99% of you all.
That comes from self-hate. That's all that is.
Probably. Yeah, I don't even think that Josh would deny that.
Self-hate creates that. And that's why it's important for people to know love. Because you stop hating what you love. And if you can find a way to love yourself, which you can when you let go of all the reasons not to, and you start transforming yourself into the one who you love so that you love to be with you. Guys, I enjoy all of you, but I fucking love just hanging out alone. I am so funny and so much fun.
Okay. Break out the rubber room.
Please, as if it has a TV and a food hole, yeah, give me that rubber room, baby.
Fuck that. They don't give you TVs in the rubber room.
They
Hey,
don't give
Dennis,
you shit in the rubber room.
I got a story about that too.
I bet you
Oh, I got a couple too, Jack.
Don't tell me it's non-physical orgasms. Not that story.
No, not that. I'm talking about actually rubber rooms so you don't hurt yourself.
No, that wasn't my version, but I entertained the idea. I considered it because I knew I knew a nurse at the state hospital, and so I wondered, maybe I can get myself locked up for a month, because at this time I was going through a lot of processing, and I just wanted to spend time writing and reading. And I was like, hey, if I get put away for a couple of months, and why not? I'd have all this time to take care of things, wouldn't have to worry about shit. It
Well,
did
that's
not
the thing.
happen that way, and it was a foolish thought. I just wanted that on the record as well. Go ahead.
You got to integrate all things together. Real life, and then our wants and our desires. You got to kind of tie them all together in order to be a whole person.
Mm-hmm. That's what I found. Wholeness and love, they go together. It's only when you're divided and fractured within yourself that you're not in a state of balance. And love really does balance everything out. The state of love, it's who we are. It's the source of life itself. And it's through, it really is. It's through God's love that we get to see anything at all.
Yeah, that's how I used to be when I started off with some shit jobs. I would change my perspective and just do the best job that I could do. That way the job didn't become a hate thing.
You wouldn't entertain yourself by being a messy girl?
I was too busy working back then.
What kind of shitty jobs did you do, Chuck? I'm interested. Like, I want to know. I want to know more now.
I worked early construction, a lot of sledgehammer work involved in that. And then I took on another job when I got out the military, I took a job at a steel mill, digging holes, shit like that, just manual labor. But I always tried to keep a different attitude so I didn't grow to hate the job.
It's weird because if I could go back, that's all I would do now.
What's that?
I was
Manual labor.
Right?
Yeah. Which you call shitty, I would call
Yeah.
freedom.
I was expecting
Well,
somewhat more dramatic, when you said shitty jobs, but yeah.
The
Like
worst job I
septic
ever had was
tanks
waiting
and-
tables at Applebee's. I would rather live in a refrigerator box in the alley than ever wait tables at Applebee's again. It's where white trash people. It's where white trash people go for their big night out. It's terrible.
So true.
That's
He's so
that's
true.
what-
The only time I ever
thought
took
that's
my
what
girl out was to
Waffle House
Applebee's.
was for.
These ideas I'm talking about, we have the opportunity to completely transform what it means to go to work, to have a job. Everything can change. We can bring equality into the workplace. So we don't have moms and dads being exploited because they couldn't afford a college education, right? We can actually even out the playing field and face some of this corporate corruption that's held together by the government corruption. What do you guys think?
Well, like I said before, Jack, I think we're just here to witness God's plan, taking form.
It's happened. You are that. We are God's plan, and God
yes,
has given
we are part
us.
of it. Yeah, but I mean, the corruption is also God's plan.
Yeah, see,
I don't
I don't want to sound
think to know what God's plan is.
Well,
God,
I'm not a Bible thumper, but it says so in the Bible.
right. Can we assume that God's plan included bringing us into life? Right? We could probably assume God's plan included us crossing paths together as well. Now, what God has planned for the future, no clue. None of us know. We can predict and guess, but if we're not aiming for something, all we're doing is spinning our wheels, waiting. What are we waiting for? This is our life. I think we can accomplish incredible things when people unite. It's simple as facts. I'm hoping you might unite with me with this belief that.
Don't you think uniting is a two-way street?
Yep.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, people have to unite with each other. You can't just demand that people that unite to you.
It's a compromise, correct?
Sometimes people see the idea, see the goal, and they're actually willing. Yeah, you're right. It is a two-way. It's got to be optional.
But when
all
you got
I'm
a
saying is accept the truth. Please accept the truth of our reality. This corruption is ridiculous. And if anyone's going to do something about it, I don't trust the authorities. I don't trust the government to police itself. I don't trust those who are in positions unless I talk to them myself.
But I see us as fundamentally corrupt, and and that's part of that truth. And I'm not so sure that hate is not a requirement. That corruption and greed are not requirements. Like, I genuinely fear that. Like, if someone gave me the power to fix the world by removing all the corruption and hate and violence and spreading peace and love, I would only do it if they gave me an undo button, because I would genuinely be afraid of what I would break by turning the world into a loving place.
Okay, so being afraid of the unknown, that is a reality. Okay? But I'm not real comfortable with the known. So if we look at what we know and we future predict, what can we anticipate if we do not change? What type of future is your daughter going to have, Dusty, or our grandchildren?
Speaking of my daughter, I went and tagged her car today. $600 in taxes. This is bullshit. This is corruption.
It is. What? It is ridiculous.
Oh, the repurchase, yeah.
Yep.
It is ridiculous. These fees.
Yeah, if I had children, I would be fucking terrified. This shit is going down the fucking hole pretty fast.
That's what humans have been saying forever.
Actually,
and it's been getting worse, bro.
It's your outlook.
In my lifetime, no, it's not. Don't gaslight me. My outlook. Fuck you. What a fucking yank that is, Chuck.
All I know is that my life is adorable. It's getting better. I stream a few nights a week to support my family. It's fucking great. I love this shit.
You're extremely privileged, though. You must realize that.
I know.
Privileged?
Yes.
Just wait till that hair falls out.
The fuck are you laughing at, bro? Some people don't even have their health. Never mind the ability to freely do what they want for a living.
I thought that I had kidney stones recently, but it turns out I'm just a pussy. So
you just a what?
a pussy. I'm just a pussy.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure I just had a pulled muscle.
well, that's good.
Re-
See, that's
regard,
good news.
regarding the future of our children, honestly, that was a huge motivation for me when I started this journey back in 2018. Looking at the world of today and recognizing, once I started waking up and seeing things differently, I looked at my life and I worked hard. I worked hard to earn and achieve everything I did. But I also had it pretty easy compared to a lot of others because I
Well,
did a
that's
lot.
their problem.
Right. And I care about others, Chuck, and I don't want everyone
I
to
do
have.
too. But why should I sacrifice all
Hey,
my that I have?
Chuck, can I finish? I know I got off
Sure.
and I
Go
didn't
ahead.
plan.
Sorry.
We can create a future where our children don't have to work as hard as they do, where they might actually be able to afford a home, where they actually might be able to get a proper, we can change the world. We don't have to keep going this way. And the real reality, I mean, I see what's his name down there talking crap about me, Sam Uplander. The reality is I don't know how it's going to happen. I don't know if it'll work, but yeah, I'm outside of Washington, D.C. trying to find a way in because I believe it is time for serious reforms. And what I'm talking
There was
about is,
that guy. There was that guy that got shot the other day outside the White House. Do you think maybe an
Yep, that
approach
was
like
trying for reforms. Yep.
you think he was trying for reforms, Chuck? You think that's what I should do, Chuck?
No, I'm not suggesting that's what you should do. I'm suggesting not to do that.
Okay. All right. And I didn't mean to
That was the
respond.
wrong approach. That was the wrong approach.
Right. And so reforms is the goal. I'm not talking about violence upon anyone except the system of lies. And even that won't be violent because we're just going to review it and make the corrections that bring justice and righteousness into the norm so that governments and corporations don't have a supreme power over people. Guys, the entire government and corporate structure is held together by the bankers' lies. The lies that we need money.
What are you going to do with? Okay, back to a serious question. What are you going to do in place of money?
Well, obviously, we can have a transition period, but clearly, we have the technology and ability. As long as people are honest, we can work together, direct managing resources so that it doesn't really cost anything, where we just work together without secrecy. The truth, God's truth, whatever is true, that reigns supreme, not the almighty dollar, not Princess Donald Trump, right? The truth reigns supreme. That's what we're here to do, guys.
Money.
I still,
Even
did,
our current.
I
Okay,
still didn't hear a clear answer.
Okay, let me give you an answer, Chuck. Money represents value, right? Let's
Right.
get rid of the representation and just stick to value. If there's
Right.
nothing valuable that somebody can add,
Money does
You
not
can.
represent value. It
it
represents
does. It used to. It used
it
to.
represents debt. It says right on it, promissory note, right? Meaning I'm promising. It's debt. We've been sold debt, told that it's value. We've
Yeah.
been offered the theatrics of elections and told that our voice actually matters. Your vote matters.
Yeah.
Bullshit. This is insanity. The politicians have not been listening to the people, but the people are so divided. Many of them are at war with each other. So
But money used to represent value, but it changed along the way. Yeah, yes,
I
it
think
did.
maybe no gold. Maybe
Yeah,
I mean, we were trading sacks of things that were actually valuable.
and just value against value, right? And not only gold against value. Just you do this for me,
Federal
I do
Reserve
that.
notes never represented value.
Yeah, I'm with you there, but it used to.
I think to
I
answer Chuck's question, though, what it would look like functionally is exactly what what human subsystems look like now. If you really think about it, we operate without money all the time.
Yeah,
Money kind of is its own force that circulates through the economy outside of human interaction more than within human interaction. Like families don't really operate with money. Sure, they get an income and then they have an expense, but they don't actually interact with one another or function through money. Um, there's either cooperation or there isn't within the family, regardless of whether or not income is spread around. Now, my parents too, they wanted me to learn about the value of a dollar and hard work. So eventually I started getting an allowance. But if you think about it, an allowance is almost a corruption of the relationship between people in a family, right? And it doesn't exist until your parents want to teach you a lesson. And what is that lesson? Is that a lesson about the fundamental nature of human beings? Or is it a lesson about dealing with the real world as it's run by banks and corporations? I would suggest it's the latter.
yeah.
And I got to kick back, Jack. You just said that promises are death. Did I get that
Speak into
correct?
your microphone,
Yeah.
Gardner.
What did you say?
That promises are death?
The promissory note, I allege that it's a sign that it's a debt. A promissory note as debt.
Okay. So
just like
promise,
Jesus, I'll take your debts on myself. So give me all your debt notes and
okay, because I misheard that because I thought you were saying promises were death, and I had to kick back on that because of Hebrews. But anyway, greetings.
Here, what's
What's
the
up,
promise?
El Perro?
I'll agree. I'll agree that promissory notes are nothing but debt. Yes.
would you like me to relieve you of your debts?
I'm already relieved that I have no promissory notes.
But you
Okay.
only personally you only
Then my
go
work,
into
then my
debt.
work
That
is
was
done here.
good. That was good. Holy shit.
Personally, you only go into debt if you choose to. You don't have to go into debt.
What about
No,
our
not
nation?
in this system, brother.
Yeah.
You're
Thank you.
issued debt simply by showing up to work. And what are you going to do if you here's the choice you have. You have the choice to live under a bridge and be one step ahead of the cops while you live your life free.
Shout out to Tommy.
Is that how
Right?
it works, Flo?
I
Well,
was zoning out, kind of.
How about this idea as well? By our agreement to use the money that's circulated in the economy, we are assuming our part in that national debt scheme, where the taxes of the government are going to bankers, institutions, rather than
20 grand. That's my personal share.
All y'all fuckers hate money. I'll take it.
Yeah, I don't get it.
No, I care more about life. I care more about wisdom. I care more about love. Those things create life.
Well, how is money inhibiting any of those?
Okay, beautiful question. Let's think about advertising.
Okay.
It's mind
Costs money.
manipulation.
Okay.
Money has been the driving force with our social media right now, right? These apps are programmed to make us addicted, to trigger the chemical releases in our body, right? Why? They want to capture our attention. Why?
Yep.
Because our attention usually comes with money.
Can you pull up D7's comment?
Man, it's so untrue.
What's
Money
it
is
say?
not a resource.
No,
It is.
This is
It
the
is a
problem
resource.
with the world that's got you people literally believe this shit.
Yeah,
No.
there's a distinct difference. There's a
Chuck,
distinct
Chuck,
difference between
that
money
is
and wealth.
absolutely fucking insane, bro. It's
What are we gonna do?
insanity.
trade pumpkins?
That's a separate question.
Right.
How is it not
No.
a resource?
Money is a resource.
It's not.
No, it's a tool.
On the personal level, yes, it's a resource.
No, it's a tool to
No, it's not.
access
For what?
resources.
Fuel? What are you going to do? Burn it when you're cold in the winter?
Yeah. Fuel's
Right.
also a resource. You can buy fuel with it. You can get anything with it.
Right. The transaction shows it's a tool. It's not a
Yeah,
resource.
you use money to get resources. It's not a resource.
It's like a stem cell of resources. It's any resource you choose to allocate it to.
No, it's
Right.
the opposite of a stem cell.
Right. It's death.
A stem cell can turn into any cell. A dollar can turn into any resource.
It can't, though.
It's
Okay, what's a resource I cannot buy with $1?
Jack, it's
It
me.
depends on the circumstances.
And frankly, Jack, I've been waiting to speak to you for a long time.
Oh shit!
What do you have to
Oh,
say?
it's
What do you
it's
have
President
to say,
Trump.
Jack? What do you have to say, Jack? We
Oh,
gotta-
Trump. I hate Trump as a man. I like his policies, but I hate him as a man.
Oh, you can never hate. I hate you.
That doesn't
first.
sound very Christ-like.
Well, he should carry himself better.
Agreed.
You can't take
Then
me
he
when I
does.
hated you first.
Agreed.
And hate, hate's too strong of a word. I dislike the
Money
things
doesn't fulfill a need, perform a task, or achieve a goal.
We gotta stop
It
the
does
wars, Jack.
There you
every
go.
one of
No,
those things.
Please.
No, it does not. You have to trade it for those things. And it's
Right,
only
that's-
based upon the assumed value that isn't even real, dictated by a bank that uses it to create a debt. I mean, you know this better than most people.
Take
Right.
your
I know,
$10 out of the
it
bank.
definitely is a resource. It definitely does all those things.
No,
And,
it doesn't. You can't do shit with money.
You can do okay.
What?
You
Yeah.
have to
Are you-
trade it for other things that you can use.
Right. That's why I said it's like a stem cell
It's
resource.
just a resource.
Money,
Guys,
no money is-
Guys,
no
would
money-
you please try to consider different than what you think, right? Yes, we hear
If
you.
you do it too.
view it as a resource, you view it as an access, a gateway to gain other resources. But the reality is, if we share,
There's a dude in the chat saying the value is objectively real. I mean,
No.
how nuts do you have to be to realize you're being brainwashed?
it
money,
is.
money is merely a mechanism for the exchange of resources, and we
A
have
value, yes.
In this
we
society,
have other means of exchanges such as barter, where we can place our own independent assessment of values.
This
It
just
is
seems
not-
like a whole
it
lot
is
of
not-
poor people
it is
coping.
not- It is
You
not
guys-
objectively the same value.
Tell you what,
Yeah.
I think we're getting off track. So, I mean, this is impossible. I mean, I'm
Yes, it
convinced
is.
that the
Well,
corruption.
clarify it then.
Would you maybe listen instead of telling me what to do, Chuck?
Okay, I'm listening.
Well, you don't have to tell me either, especially. Thank you. Guys, mankind can do better. What we've got, it's worked for many, but not enough for others. The human sacrifices that are happening right now in the name of war, poverty, it's all due to people's inactions and people's actions. I suggest that the good people outnumber the cruel and the selfish. So the real point of today is to remind everyone, we're all one time of this history. What's happening in the world, we're going to have different perspectives of the truth, but we're supposed to know many different perspectives of the truth. And that can only happen through our ego experience, right?
What are those people standing on?
I don't know.
grass.
On a field, yeah. The point is
Jack
after
trying to
we've,
sneak by some
inhabited the
bullshit
moon.
science.
On another planet.
The moon's
Well-
not real.
Well,
That wasn't the
don't
moon. There
get me
was grass
started.
on it.
Have you watched the moon lately? It was upside down and then downside up.
This fucking guy.
Dude, you haven't watched the moon. You think I'm talking
If
shit?
I swear to God, the Dutch were invented just to fuck with the rest of us.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Back in the Stone Age, when they talked about the moon, there was no projector projecting the moon into the sky. The moon is there,
Now it's
whether
a
we
project.
like it or not.
Okay, so okay, that's okay. I just wanted to bring it up.
Panelverse,
Nobody
you
watched
live in a car and all your income is from stealing other people's content. You're hardly proving anything.
Oh yeah, that's just another Canadian, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay.
You can survive with no money a month, but not very well.
Go.
He's not homeless though. He's not homeless. No.
Yes, he is. If you live in a car, you're homeless.
Well, just roofless. Roofless.
That's homeless. I'm sorry, that's homeless.
It is.
We could solve the homeless problems.
With
And
a wood chipper?
actually, well, no, by cooperation. If we unite together and we properly manage resources, and actually there's going to be a lot of need for resources and rebuilding, what with all the destruction of the militaries, right? So costs in America, guys, I've listened to a few different predictions of what the downflow is going to be of the blockade and the conflicts in Iran. Guys, we're not going the right direction. Welcome, Stinky Brew. You there?
There was a. Whoops.
How you doing, Jack, mate? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Sorry.
Welcome.
Oh, that's fine. As long as you can hear me, mate, that's fine. Sorry, you can carry on. You can proceed. What you think?
There was a huge apartment complex in Macomb, Illinois, that was set up for the homeless. That front door, you might as well put a revolving door on there. They gave these people food, they gave them a place,
Yeah.
and they would leave.
Okay.
I mean, the turnaround was because that's not what they wanted.
Okay. So what, Chuck? I'm not sure.
When I seen that demonstration, I think that holds true for a vast majority of the homeless.
Okay. So what, Chuck? Is there
So
relevance?
you're saying that there's not a homeless problem.
Right.
Because he's not homeless. And he knows intimately what's within every one of those people. And we're also not considering, maybe it's not the right solution, right? Just putting Band-Aids on problems, pretending the fact that once people leave that shelter, they actually, they need a lot more than just maybe a job.
If people want to be homeless, who are you to tell them?
They had mental health benefits. They had job benefits.
So what?
They offered them.
You're making a lot of assumptions too.
No. This is firsthand experience.
Okay.
Jack,
so you've been homeless and mentally ill.
Jack, if you don't mind, if I can talk. Sorry, guys. I think what he's trying to say is there is a homeless problem. Don't get me wrong, but there is a problem where people want to be homeless. Does that make sense?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Problem for?
Guys, I don't care. Do you think that means our society should not reform, Chuck, or you just don't think it's possible to make reforms that work?
Chuck,
what would be the reform for that situation?
Chuck cannot even think.
But all this, in my opinion, no offense, I have respect for everybody up here, even the people I don't know. But this is dishonest, because what it comes down to is you had to work hard for what you have, because otherwise this society would have taken it away from you as soon as you turned a blind eye to it. And now you're coveting, and you don't want anybody to be able to get it up on you without having to work at least as hard as you did. There's a resentment in there. And so like all these, this is all naysaying whether or not this reform will work or that reform will work. You just don't want anybody to have a heads up on you or have a ladder above your
Not
head.
true.
I must disagree. I must
Not
disagree with.
true.
I must
Not
disagree
true.
with that. I must disagree with that because if people worked as hard as I work with what I've got, with what little I've got, if people worked as hard as I have, then they'd be okay where they are.
You just proved my point. You
There's
totally
a-
just proved my point. Is what
There's
an
a lot of
assumption it
people-
is that you are a measurement by which to determine how hard someone needs to work in order to be successful, and that no one who's worked harder than you remains unsuccessful.
I didn't make that
brother,
assumption though. I
that
didn't
is-
make that
yes,
assumption,
yes,
brother. I
yes,
didn't
yes,
make
you
that
did.
assumption.
You literally
I didn't.
just did.
I didn't.
It's the height of
I didn't make that
myopia.
assumption. I didn't make that
You
assumption.
100%
Okay, you
did.
were
You
heard.
100% did.
No, I 100% did not.
Go ahead,
Sorry,
Jack.
Jack.
I yield.
Great, Stinky, you 100% did not. So what? Okay, what it sounded like is, yeah, you're kind of proving that case, and I'm wondering if Denizen was even talking to you. You jumped in defense of what he said, as though it couldn't apply to you. Maybe I
Denizen was
misunderstood.
projecting a character flaw into Chuck's point, which is that there are lots of homeless people who choose to be homeless. I know
They
that from
choose to be
experience.
homeless, and no matter what you give to them,
Who
they will
cares?
still be homeless.
What does that have to do with the vast majority of other people?
I think we skipped right over the solution. Jack.
But you're talking about save the homeless.
No. Jack is up here telling us that he has the solution. So let's sit back and watch Jack feed or house the homeless. Let's sit back and watch Jack.
What?
This guy said what he wanted, and then he put it on Jack. It's not Jack's fucking goal to feed the homeless and make the homeless happy and make them have that.
Yeah, it is.
I don't know what this guy's doing.
Chuck,
Let's
what you're focused on, you're trying to negate the results of my goal. You're trying to say that the downflow of succeeding in bringing reforms would not do any good, but you're not thinking things through, Chuck. I'm telling you. And Josh, you got kicked because you're clearly here just to be a thorn in the side and don't need you here.
Jack,
let's
I'm
start
not.
by
Jack,
can we
if you
start
don't
by
mind,
hold on, Stinky Brew. Can we
it's
start
all
by
right, Flav.
identifying the problem?
Pardon?
Can we start by identifying the problem?
Yes,
Secrecy is
that
the
works.
What homeless people has anybody on this panel been approached by a homeless person asking for help with their homelessness?
Can we
Yes.
move beyond the individual to look at the systemic problems that I'm suggesting we discuss serious reforms about? The systemic problems create broken people. Guys, if you're actually honest and you look at things from a different perspective, the way I see poverty and addiction, those are symptoms of a broken society. A broken community creates and enables addicts. A broken community creates and enables poverty. We don't have
A broken family and a broken life. There's something there before this happens. I totally agree with you with that. Is that what you're saying, Jack?
Well, if we're just going to turn a blind eye to the suffering of others as though it's normal, we're
It's
not
not
doing what we
necessarily
can.
suffering.
It is suffering. When people are
Do
suffering,
you think that Mitch is suffering, Mitch Levin?
yes, he's not as whole and healed as he might present himself.
Well, nobody is.
Sure.
There's a certain extent with it where, with all due respect, that certain people would just rather take that crack. They'd rather drink that booze than do anything better with their life. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's you can give them all the help they want in their life, and they will still choose the other option. And where do you go from there?
Okay. Again, I'm less focused on the people that do suffer from addiction and maybe mental illness or this defiant nature where they just don't want to conform to society and they want to reject everyone. Those are not the people I'm talking about really interacting with, not right now. What I'm suggesting we interact with is the corruption and the people that are enabling the corruption in our United States government. There
Well, those aren't
is.
the homeless people. Then.
Jack, I have a question. Peace and love, by the way, Jack. Hello, how are you doing today? Wouldn't you be focusing on people like Flo, who sells crack to women, like D7 is Cracko? So I'm just wondering, like, if he's going out and making people suffering, if the guy's making people suffering, like drug dealing,
Imperious.
What are you
well,
doing?
why is he drug dealing?
What are you doing?
Imperious, we're on a panel, mate, and you're going personal attacks. Just fucking chill it
Well,
down.
because
Just
he wants
reel
to
it in a bit.
silence me in the chat because his little crack whore D7.
I would silence you too, and so does Jack. I mean,
Yeah.
Imperious is very intelligent, he's very educated, and it just annoys me the fact that he comes in with them fist fucking throwing. Just chill out a little bit and then put your point across. And he has got...
Maybe do a stream together, Stinky Brew. You and Imperious. See how that works. Huh? See how that works if you like him so much.
I didn't say, I just said he's intelligent, he's got good points.
You cannot even react to my reaction to you.
So you're personally attacking me because I turned around and said
I'm asking you
Imperious has good points.
You're carrying water for Imperious.
Actually asking you a question, dude. But okay.
That's pathetic. That is pathetic. That's pathetic. But carry on.
When should we look forward to the Stinky Brew Imperious collaboration?
I don't know, mate. Maybe one day. We've had a few. We've had a few in the past. They've not ended nice, but hey, it happens.
Wop, 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 wop.
What's that? What does that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean? Does that mean anything? You going womp, 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 womp. What does it mean? I don't understand. Is that a win? Is that what you call a win?
Hey, Stinky, can you let it go? Please.
Okay, that's fine. I'll let it go, but I'm not sure what I'm letting go. But yeah, fair enough. Okay, Jack. I respect you. It's your street.
Thank you.
You were busy yelling at Chuck about economics or something. Jack, I have to go swimming before the pool closes. Thank you for having me up. Can I plug some shit?
Of course, please do.
I've got a stream coming up in 4 hours. I didn't need the whole. I got a stream coming up in 4 hours. I'm gonna go over a little bit of the shakedown with Andrew and then Sarah's reaction to it. So, thanks for having me up. Salute to Jack. Salute to the panel. Salute to the chat.
See you later, Flo. You know I love you.
Peace out, man. Have fun.
Respect.
Jack, if I could respond to what you were saying earlier.
Please do.
So, I think it's a cop-out, and it's a deliberate one, and I think I demonstrated how it's all about, well, I had to work for this, and I had to do this, so why should anybody else get a handout? When you say, like, some people want to be homeless, who cares? That means we shouldn't do anything? I mean, I'm going to be curt and a little rude because, I'm not that sophisticated, so don't take it the wrong way. But that's fucking retarded, and it's a waste of my time, and it's beneath the level of conversation that I think everybody on this panel is capable of having. So I dismiss it out of hand, and it is dismissive in itself. And don't unmute yourself to cut me off. Wait until I'm finished. And even if we can't help, everyone, how did you know I was talking to you to interrupt me without interrupting me? Do it again. Do it again. There you go. Keep doing it. Keep doing it. And you're just making my point. Yes, I'm excellent. I'm having a time of my life, and you're proving me right. So you're really boosting my ego right now on top of it all. So it doesn't matter if we can't help everyone. If you don't think there's people out there capable of receiving help, you're naive and you're not part of the solution. So sit back with your money and your bills and let us handle the world's problems. So we don't need your input. No offense. Not only that, but if you solve corruption, if you work on corruption, if you work on greed, if you work on cooperation and generosity and kindness and promote these as the values of a society instead of commodification, capitalization, labor intensity, productivity, these are your so-called values. Maybe if you change your values, you'll find that some of the people who are apathetic to society and don't want to opt in and don't want to have have skin in the game might change their mind and join you if your society had something worth valuing and worth taking part in.
Say as many big words
as you want. Exactly.
Say as many big words as you want.
Hey, Stinky Brew. I muted you. You're welcome to reflect on what he said, but the insults and the attacks on how it was delivered, not helpful.
Okay, how would you like me to reply to him? How would you like me to reply to him, Jack?
Why would you want to? You were exacerbated
I will
just by
turn
having
around
to
to you and
listen to
say,
me.
I will turn around and say that you can say all the big words you'd like to say. That's what I said. But
I did already.
It doesn't make a difference. At the end of the day, if people want help and they need help and they deserve help, they can get help. If they don't
That's
want
not
help,
true.
then how much? I beg your pardon.
Holy
I
beg
said
your
that's
pardon?
not true.
How is it
You
not true?
clearly spoken like someone who's never really needed help. Otherwise, you would know exactly how it's not true all around the world.
Have you needed help then? Do you know? Have you
Yes.
needed help?
Yes, I know
What is that?
firsthand that you
What is
can't
that
just
then?
ask for help and get it, buddy.
Yeah.
Is that drug addiction? Is it drug addiction or alcohol
Is it?
addiction?
Is it? No, it's not. But is that any of your fucking business?
Right.
Well, you don't know what these people are going through then. So you're talking.
But I do more than you do. Sorry,
Yeah.
Jack.
No, it's all right. He has no clue, and he's doing just what you said. You identified it accurately, and thank you. These people, and I first experienced that mindset as a union guy, right? When I talked with people about labor rights, workers' rights, I get that same bullshit. Well, I had to work hard. Why are they making so much money? Why aren't they making less? And it's like, what the hell? Why can't you be proud of someone who's earning or, getting value? This, Denizen, what we're experiencing is the result of the past conditioning. You see it. We see it. What gives me hope is there's a lot of other people who see it, right? I just learned, believe it or not, on this path I'm on, I just found this organization recently. I mentioned it yesterday. And the link it'll now be in my descriptions, just like the others. Transparency International, the Global Coalition Against Corruption. One Vision, a world free of corruption. It's happening, guys. Let's get on board. That's what
I will at least not stand in the way, and if I can better myself to where I can actually participate, I will try to do so. I'm not going to be a naysayer and shit on people doing good things for no reason, though. That's just you're a waste of breath if that's what you're here to do. It serves no purpose. What do you care? As a matter of fact, if you're a capitalist and you believe in this transactional economy, what the fuck do you care if other people waste their time trying to help the homeless?
Right.
If anything, that's less competition for you.
Yeah.
What the hell do you care? And potentially, it's less homeless people sleeping in your lawn or crowding the 7-Eleven that you like to stop to on your way to work. So what do you care?
Our world becomes safer for everyone when people at least have access to everything they need, right? It used to piss me off so much. I'd walk the streets of Spokane in summer and winter, but walking the streets in the middle of winter, seeing men and women sleeping on the street, freezing, fucking freezing. All these shops. There was one in mind. There was a shop that had a gas fireplace that was just continually on, showing warmth in the window, and these people outside, they can't get it. Like, how fucking cruel is that? Or walking by the bar, seeing the bar patrons inside having fun and joyful. On the screens was the car auctions. People paying hundreds of thousands of dollars, maybe millions of dollars for cars, as I see men and women sleeping in the streets in the cold.
Unbelievable.
It really is. But it's normal.
Normalized, right?
Well, someone said it
Right.
earlier. It might have been you, Denizen. We're taught to earn, right? To work hard so that we can survive in this society. But that's not living. That's not life. Thoughts, guys? I'm feeling like maybe it's time to start wrapping up. We've been going a little bit, had some good
Okay,
conversation.
so I have a thought. You talk a lot about love, but it's essential for life. But sometimes people forget about beauty, right? And yeah, it takes all forms, and beauty is essential to life too. It's a very natural thing to occur, right? Very natural thing. And some of these panel members don't appreciate beauty. They don't exude it. They don't even try to be beautiful. Not even in their conversation. They just want to be ugly, because what's up with that? What's up? Well, that's not a question, but I would like you to speak more about beauty, or to how do you say? Sorry, I'm missing my English here, but talk about beauty when you talk about love, right?
You're right. It
Because
is.
it's a natural thing.
The two are connected. I thought of this idea some time ago. I was thinking about love and pleasure, and then witnessing, right, the sunset over the mountain, and just beauty in nature, just what you're talking about. I picture beauty as externalized pleasure, right? We feel it through our mind senses rather than our physical senses, but beauty is felt. And each of us have the potential of discovering the beauty when our mind is not filled with darkness, and things that prevent the beauty from being seen.
Yeah, it's very much connected to
Love that.
love. It is.
Yeah. And I think if you can find beauty, even in the pain, even in the challenges, if you can find beauty in the experience, you can find appreciation. And appreciation, that's what really feels good.
Mm-hmm.
So it seems to me it all comes back to love, because beauty is love. It's God's love being shown to us, the beautiful, the brilliant, the music that captures us, the flavors, the sounds, the sights, all of that. Life is beauty in form, except, I guess, when the beauty's lost.
Yeah. And so when beauty is lost and the appreciation is lost, that's when one becomes bitter, right? And so we become how do you say this? Yeah, bitter. Just bitterness drops in. When it's not sweet anymore, it becomes bitter or sour, right?
There's a lot of people that have become bitter and sour in their personal development. We get a lot of them swinging through these panels, right?
Very persistent, so right. I mean, if there's some sour and some bitter and some salt, among the sweet, that brings out the whole panorama of the taste. But if it's only bitter and bitter and sour, it's we just cannot taste it. We don't want that. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants that.
We are the seasoning of the earth, the salt of the earth, the seasoning. That's what we are. And we're here to discover how sweet the seasoning can become.
Okay, so let me leave you with that thought, Jack, and you have a conversation with Dennison, because I love to hear Dennison's logic. It's hard to battle his logic, man. Thank you, Dennison, and see you on the next one, Jack. Ciao.
Hey,
That's true praise from you, Void. Thank you, sir.
Ciao.
Yeah, thank you, brother. Words from you, my brother. And I agree with him. Your logic is sound. And it was mentioned earlier, I've learned about myself, and I feel improved myself as a result of spending time with you. So I really do appreciate you.
Thank you. I'm kind of a Spock, um, in my personality, in two ways that I think are fundamental. One, I find logic as a guide. You know, right and wrong seems to be way above my pay grade, but I have a firm grasp on what the reason, the ability to reason, and the ability to logic. And two, the older I get, the more I realize that logic isn't everything, and that there's, an untangible, what you would probably call spiritual element to the world that might be even more important than logic. And somebody in the chat mentioned, what is it that we're doing to help people? I can't compare myself to anybody else. I find that's a an inefficient and ineffective way of measuring my own success or contributions. But I'll answer the question. I mean, when my friends and peers were going to college or getting their first jobs, I spent my time traveling around with a church feeding the homeless. And when I had, my moment of realization that the world's problems were unsurmountable, and that I, as a single individual, wasn't going to be able to take on poverty and homelessness by myself, that realization was that it started with me, and that the only way we can help the world is that if each of us become an island of charity and gratitude and generosity ourselves, and that way, each of us can be a pillar for progress and change. So I took a break to work on myself and to enrich myself, and with learning and experience and uh, like trade ability and marketability, and I engaged with the economy. And I came out a changed person. And now, after I've been through it all, I try to live a minimalist lifestyle so that my modest means can help those around me. And I sacrifice, and granted, these may not be things that are that important to me, so they're easy for me to sacrifice, but I give up so that those around me can have, you know, um, and I try to support what I consider my family, which is handpicked because my relatives are mostly dead. So I have friends that I consider my family. I help them financially. I help them with my most valuable resource, which is my time and my attention, which I would argue is worth millions of dollars. And when I'm able, and I'm trying to be better at this every day, I help them by giving them love, like Jack recommends we do. And it's I'm almost ashamed to admit that that is a challenge for me. I'm not good at it, but I'm learning. That being said, it's always a pleasure to have these conversations with you, sir. This has become one of my favorite places to come and talk about these issues. I hope to see you tomorrow. I guess if you'll be streaming, we could have another chat like this. Shout out to the panel. What an excellent panel you had today. Even our new friend, I forgot his name, but we had a bit of back and forth. I'm sure you know who I'm talking about. And shout out to the chat too. Uh, to the people in the chat who matter. You know who you are. Um, I appreciate the well wishings and the kind words from them as well. And I'll see you later. Thanks for having me, Jack.
Hey, much love to you, Denizen. If you will, you got just another minute?
Yes.
I'm curious because I think this was feeding back on you from D7.
She's playing.
You and I have logic. Logic is what I've really grown up with. Spock was my hero growing up too, but I found myself becoming very emotional along the way. And so I suggest logic is not everything. If it's absent from love, it creates cruelty. His feedback to that is that love is irrational. Would you agree? I consider love to be illogical, perhaps, but I don't know that it's irrational.
Well, we can rationalize just about anything.
True.
So
Very
I'm not sure how much what is communicated in that statement, right? I could agree with it without receiving information, right? I would ask for elaboration.
Gotcha.
But I think this is why Roddenberry made Spock half human, because the whole point was his lifelong journey of recognizing that his emotional side and the bonds that he had with his crewmates that's what life is really about, you know?
Dude, you just summed it up. Hey, thank you, Denizen. You're absolutely right. Logic can
Peace out,
lead.
and I mean it.
Yeah, much love to you. Thank you. I'm gonna roll just a few final words. We got a couple in the back. Mr. Big Nose, I'm not sure who you are, and Snaps, not today, brother. The idea of logic. It is logic, truly, that allows us to guide ourselves through the choices and navigate ourselves through time. It's not just logic, though. Logic can protect you. It can lead. It can guide you. Right. It'll narrow things down for you. But you got to remember that any application of logic, just like in math, any application of logic is going to be directly affected by the variables that are included. And if you don't have all the right variables in your head as you're putting pieces together, discerning your logic, it's really easy to mislead yourself. That's why God created us for us. We're here for each other. And I tell you what, it is true. We are all one. We were all one time in history. We're all men and women, different colors, different languages, different traditions, different memories, but we are all one experience. It's only the individuated ego, the identity we believe in, the beliefs and the fear. That's what separates us. The beliefs and the fear of excuses. That's what prevents the truth of our unity from being known. Trust in God. Trust that you have been prepared for any challenges you're facing. Trust that the answers are available. I talked about a bunch of things today, and we did. We had some great conversations, some great guests joined up. I'm going to wrap it up from here. Brothers and sisters, thank you sincerely once again. Please keep these ideas in your mind, though, too. Reforms. This is our life. Reform yourself, renew yourself, rededicate yourself to greater, and then pay attention to discover and redefine what greater means to you. Till next time, thank you again, and choose love. Peace for everyone. Walk with faith. Know who you are. Be with God and live without fear. Peace and thank you.